Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you're joining me in your car on the way to work, coming home from work, on Spotify or anywhere that you get your podcast, I really do appreciate you tuning in. Make sure 5 stars. Shout out to all my people on Twitter. Shout out to all of my people on Facebook who continue to hold me down. I really do appreciate you guys out there and what you've been able to do for me in the space. I want to say this. I would love to live in a world where criticism did not exist. I would love to live in a world where we didn't have to wonder, or we didn't have to be so harsh in our critiques, where the opinions of others did not matter, or people gave opinions that only helped and didn't hurt the situation. But that's not where we live. And because that's not where we live, I can't sit and try to act as if criticism doesn't have its proper place, because I really do believe it does. To me, and I may have talked about this before, in many instances, criticism is the final frontier. Criticism lets you know if they don't value what you say or do, then there's no real reason to criticize you. If what you're saying or doing doesn't hold any weight, it doesn't bring any value to a conversation, it doesn't bring any value to your team, your organization, your business, then there's no real reason to criticize. But because what you do brings value, or people perceive it to have value, there's going to be criticism out there. So I was entangled in this Twitter conversation where this man had some very harsh criticism for Mina Kimes of ESPN, who I believe is doing color commentary for the Rams. And the criticism goes, this is a person, I won't even get him involved. It says, watching at Rams NFL versus at Chargers, and wow, Mina Kimes is just awful at color commentary. Guys set her up with soft questions, and she usually has nothing to add except dead air. Really bad. Now, he put at Rams, he put at Chargers, and he at Mina Kimes. He put at Rams, he put at Chargers, and he added Mina Kimes so that Kimes could see what he said. Now, some people would call this trolling. And I don't necessarily disagree if that's what you want to consider trolling. But understand, he said very specific things. He said that she's awful at color commentary. He didn't say she didn't know what she was talking about. He didn't say that she was bad at sports, that she didn't know sports, that she shouldn't be talking sports. He said that she was bad at color commentary. And then he gave an example Guys set her up with soft questions, and she usually has nothing to add except dead air. That to me is a legitimate criticism. If you're watching a football game and you're listening to the commentary and the play-by-play guy or the other color guy, because I'm assuming this is a 3-man booth, throws something to her or leaves a window open for her that she does not feel, that's a problem. Now, to Mina Kimes' credit, she responded to him. She said, "Hey, Elon, I'm pretty new to this, so I'm pretty anxious about saying the wrong thing, but I'm working to get better. Luckily, I have good teammates who offer great insights. Thanks for watching and enjoy the season." Now, that to me says, I could be wrong, that to me says, hey, I know I'm not very good at this yet, but I'm trying to get better. She says, hey, I'm very new to this, right? But she's been doing this since 2019. 2019 is the first season she had an opportunity to do color. So yeah, she's pretty new to this, but 19, 20, 21, 22, like those are legitimate amounts of time. Those are legitimate amounts of time to be able to work on one's craft. Now, I will admit, this is not what she does regularly. This is not her regular job. It's not like she's doing color commentary every week, all season, so she doesn't get as many bites at the apple. This is not, contrary to what people believe, it's not easy to talk for hours upon hours at a time. It's not easy to continue to have fresh, legitimate things to do. And again, like she said, if you're worried about how you might sound or saying something wrong, that can be an issue. Man, she made that comment and all of the capes came out. Oh, don't forget about him. He's disgusting. He's a troll. He's this, he's that, right? So silly. So I, having run across this feed, because I don't follow any of these people, not even Mina Kimes, I don't follow her because she doesn't really have anything to say that I'm interested in, right? Like, I don't get down with her brand of humor. She's not really writing anymore. I used to read her stuff because I think she's a fantastic writer, but in the space of commentary or analyst, I don't live on the West Coast, so I'm not a Chargers. You know what I'm saying? So there's really nothing for me to get involved with there. But the funny part for me was that all of these people came to the defense of Mina Kimes. They all came to the defense of Mina Kimes as if Mina Kimes needed defending from a guy who, while he might have been harsh in the fact that he said that she sucked at this, right? Like, or not even, she didn't even say she sucked. He said it's just awful. While that might have been harsh, why I may not have said it exactly like that, he gave legitimate reasoning. And she, in her response, essentially acknowledges, hey, I'm still not that good at this. So with that, the capes come out, and I simply ask the question of, because one of the guys said, hey, not getting defensive or protective as Mina can defend herself quite capable. I'm advocating etiquette and manners, though. And then he said that if this dude would reply and say something back to Mina, to Kimes. And my thought process was, well, what do you want this man to say? he already criticized her performance. Does he want him to apologize? Hey, Mina, I'm sorry for criticizing you and your performance as a color commentary of a team that I watch, and so I'm listening to the color commentary. I don't see anybody coming to the defense. I didn't see anybody coming to the defense of Booger McFarland when he was really bad at color commentary on Monday Night Football. I just saw people ragging him, right? Black man plays football, played football in the NFL for years, has been on the radio, has been on television, but when it came to color commentary, wasn't that good. I didn't hear anybody coming to the defense of Booger McFarland when he was being told he was one of the worst. Chris Collinsworth has been getting slammed for years because people don't like his commentary. The list goes on of people who get slammed or get vilified because people don't like their commentary, and yet I have not seen the level of we need to protect, we need to battle against, we need to defend like they do for Mina Kimes. This is not Mina Kimes' fault. This isn't about Mina Kimes. This is about the final frontier of equality. And I know I've said this before, but if we're ever going to have equality in this country, equality in this world, people have to be criticized without everybody else feeling the need to come to their rescue. You know what equality would be? Equality would be if the same amount of people came to the rescue or to the defense of Booger McFarland, a minority doing a job that has been primarily earmarked for white men. If people would have come to his defense the way they came to Mina Kimes' defense. But they don't. Why? Because he should be able to take it. And somehow the guy was mean and rude. All he did was say that she was awful at color commentary. And in an honest moment, many other people would probably agree that's not her biggest strength. I've seen her do a color commentary before. She seemed as if she was awkward. Some people might find that cute. Some people might find that endearing. Me, I just found it annoying. So I didn't want to watch. Or I didn't want to listen. So I made sure that I wasn't listening. I just turned the volume down and did some other stuff. The idea behind color commentary is it's supposed to add to the experience. So if the commentary doesn't add to the experience, but here's the thing, right? Because I want to do more color commentary. I want to be involved in that space more. I hope people come out and tell me when I'm bad. I'm not going to take it as trolling. I'm not going to take it and get defensive. I know that not everybody will like me and what I have to say because that happens now. I am criticized for my commentary when it comes to the Giants and how I feel about certain players, what I believe they should be doing in the front office. I get slammed because I don't believe you can blame Dave Gettleman for everything that's happened to the Giants. I am a proud writer for The Athletic. In the fantasy world, when I make a list, I get criticism about not adding this person or not having that person. Oh, well, if you didn't add this person, your list is void. Well, that's crazy because I didn't put the one person that you wanted. That means my list is void. But look what I do. If you have a list of top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL and Lamar Jackson's not on that list is void to me. So I'm the same way. So equality is the ability to not only take criticism, but to give criticism without feeling as if the world is going to attack you because how dare you criticize them? How dare you criticize them? If I tell people that Sue Bird, for everything that she's done and everything that she's meant to the WNBA, is not the best point guard in the history of the WNBA, people act as if I have somehow wronged her. But if I'm coming from legitimate, this is me giving basketball analysis. Why can't I be critical of her game? Why can't I be critical of the fact that people will cook her on a regular basis? Why can't I be critical of the fact that she's not the best offensive player? Why can't I be critical of the fact that for her being such a floor general, she never seems to really lead the WNBA in assists? Why can't I be critical of the fact that she has been on every USA Olympic team, even though there have been other point guards out there in the WNBA that don't look or sound or represent the same people that she does, that have not been afforded that opportunity? Let this sink into you. She was on a USA Olympic team, and Candace Parker didn't make that team. Candace Parker, who actually does have an argument as one of the greatest players in the history of the WNBA, was snubbed from making the U.S. Olympic team, the Team USA, while others who she was clearly better than made it. Meanwhile, Sue Bird continued to make team after team after team, even though her performance did not warrant her making that team. They made it into more of a popularity contest than they did about game. And yet, when you criticize that, people say you're attacking. But part of equality is the ability to criticize and take criticism. That's the final frontier of equality. If we can't criticize, right? If we can't criticize the new brother, this straight brother who is in the fashion world, who we barely see because a lot of them tend to be somewhat not, right? We don't see a lot of us in the space, but that straight brother should be criticized the same way that woman and that gay man should be criticized. Like, the equality of what we do is that everybody gets treated the same. Everybody gets defended the same. So if you're going to go out of your way to defend Amina Kimes, if you're going to go out of your way to defend a female host, if you're going to go out of your way to defend people in spaces who have not been in those spaces before, against real legitimate criticism, against real legitimate commentary, then we have to be understanding that that's not equality. If we cannot criticize them, then now they're not equal. Now they've risen above everything else. Because if this is the line and criticism is okay here, but someone comes into space and they can't be criticized, then they rise above the line. Nobody's asking Mina Kimes to be nicer and kinder when she says that a player is not good. When she says that a player is awful. When she says that a team is awful. These are the words that the gentleman used to describe her. Nobody's telling her to be nicer. No one's telling her to reach out to that person and apologize. You know what they say? You know the way that they justify it? Oh, She's paid to do that. So that makes it okay. It makes it okay for me. I get paid to criticize, right? I get paid for my opinion and my evaluation. Does that make it okay? Does that mean that because someone else does not get paid, they can't criticize me? No. When I do my podcast, my Talk Spicy podcast, and I touch on information that people think that I shouldn't, they criticize. When I write articles for The Athletic, when I write articles for Giants Country, people criticize. When I do videos, people criticize. And I look at the criticism, I take what I believe is valuable, and I try to make changes. I try to make corrections, not to please the person that's criticizing, just to be better at my job. That's what we all should do. If you're making sloppy burgers at Burger King, you should be criticized. No one should go, oh, but they only make such and such dollars an hour. That's not part of the game. That's not how this works. So if we're not allowed to be critical, if we're not allowed to voice opinions, then we have lost the ability to be equal. And people should not be afforded some level of stature above reproach. That's not how the world works. And that's not how I want it to work. Iron sharpens iron. You've never sharpened anything with a feather. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, all the jazz, all the things. Hey, if you are around mañana, catch me live on the red carpet. Y'all know what it is. Peace.